Hey up viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist and welcome back to So You're Being Hunted. This is episode 213 now. So, remember in the last episode of course I was doing another of those little sort of chill out episodes that I do from time to time. Today's no different, we're going to do another of these. So yes, if you're waiting for obviously another challenge, just bear with me. We're probably not going to have that just yet. Maybe, you know, in a coming episode in the near future. But in the meantime, of course, it's time for another little chill out episode with me, just where we're going to, you know, chat, well, I always say where we're going to chat about various things. It's not like you're actually in the room with me or anything. But, yeah, so I'll basically chat about various stuff. So, in some ways, you know, the thing about these kind of episodes is it's almost like a podcast. That's almost like kind of like what it's turning into. And I keep saying like, which I've got to stop doing. So, you know, I'm just going to be running around in the world of Sir as I do, just messing around. In the meantime, just discussing various things that have, that I've come across during the day, things that have happened to me during the day, or whatever. Things like that. Things of interest, basically. So, I mean, one of the first things, actually, just before I started recording this episode, I noticed, it was apparently Costa Coffee over here in the UK have basically been called out recently, faced a lot of criticism on Twitter. Apparently they introduced a new type of coffee called a flat black, which is basically very little different to a standard Americano. Random little story to start out with, but kind of had to talk about it to get things rolling, you know. That's the thing. Fun little fact actually about me, I actually used to work part-time once in a supermarket cafe back in my undergraduate days, you know, just as a part-time job in between my studies, just to pay the bills, you know. Pay the old student tuition fees and all that. But yes, I used to work part-time, supermarket cafe, like I said. So basically, you know, I did all kinds of jobs actually. Worked the coffee machine a bit. Sometimes I served a bit of food. Sometimes I, you know, was engaged in table clearance, taking transactions, you know, taking people's money, things like that. Sorry for the pauses in my commentary. I'm just sort of having to commentate and deal with these robots at the same time. But yes. Company that I actually worked for was not a bad company. It's an okay little job, really, overall. But yes, I mean, I suppose the thing is, you know, customer service is one of those kind of careers which people have very kind of differing experiences of. Some people really love it, but of course, you know, if you go online, look at any pretty much internet forum or discussion thread or anything of the sort, no doubt you will find plenty of people who are, you know, dead set against customer service. Thing is, as a general rule, you know, my customer service days I have fairly fond memories of, because where I kind of, you know, was working, predominantly most of the clientele we used to get were pensioners, and, you know, they were nice pensioners, they were really nice people. So, as a general rule, like I say, most of my memories of my time as a cafe, customer service, retail kind of worker, they were pretty, you know, good. They were decent. But of course, you know, there were always that kind of odd customer who's just awkward or even just plain rude. But you know, I can remember a couple of rude customers, but balanced against those even, I can still remember all the good customers as well. The ones who made the job worthwhile. And that's the thing, you know. There's no two ways about it. Working in a you know, job like that, a menial sort of job on the low end of the company ladder, doing all the kind of menial tasks, you know, that in itself is nothing really to be excited about. But what can make it exciting is if you're working with really nice people, and, you know, you're serving really nice people as well. They're the thing, you know, they're the things that make the job enjoyable, the people. So yes, I mean, that's just my experience of it overall. But very interesting. So, you know, I thought I was just going to talk about Costa Coffee and the whole flat black thing in this episode, but no, we're getting into a whole discussion about customer service jobs now. Well, you know what, I'll take it. We'll do it. So yes, you guys out there have been involved in customer service jobs? What's been your experience of it? Did you like it or not? Well, yeah. I suppose, you know, one thing that is sometimes perhaps a bit annoying about customer service jobs is, you know, you always have to do that kind of service with a smile thing. Of course, you know, sometimes you just don't want to smile, but what can you do, eh? Always, you know, if you're working a boring sort of retail job, and you ever find yourself wondering why on earth you're doing it, just, you know, always remember the lovely customers, the people who make the day lovely and enjoyable. I always remember when I was actually working in that supermarket cafe, there was one particular elderly couple who I always remember, and they were two of the nicest people you could ever meet. Two of the nicest people, really, that I remember. Utterly lovely pair. They always usually came in at sort of, I think it was like Monday lunchtimes or something. Yes, always came in for the dinner. Absolutely lovely. Yes, like I say, fond memories of those two. And they're the ones who make the job worthwhile. But of course, you know, I've come away from all that now. I'm now, of course, teaching at university level. But yes, very, very interesting. It's always interesting to kind of look back on those sort of days and think about where I've kind of come from, where I am now as a person. You know, this discussion makes it sound like I'm really old. I'm not. I'm not even 30 yet. But yes, still makes you feel kind of old, though, doesn't it? That's the thing. Yeah. Yes. But like I say, you do sometimes, of course, always remember the rude customers as well. And as a general rule, you know, I try not to think about them too much. But there is always one who, you know, did kind of stand out, and I still remember now. I can remember this one. I think it was. See, where I used to work back in the day, part-time, the tills used to, of course, be sort of touch-screen computerised. You know, you touch screen to like touch all the things that somebody's buying, tot it all up on the screen, and there was an option for removing individual items from the list. Say if you know, hit the wrong button or something. But the problem was there wasn't like a clear all option, so you could only remove one object from a time from that screen. Now, I always remember one day there was a customer, a guy, who came in and he was waiting in the queue, and the person before him was a young woman who, basically, I was sorting her out, and, you know, she had a lot of items, and she quickly said to me, "Oh, can I just quickly nip over to one of the chiller cabinets and just grab something else?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." You know, because she's literally only going to be gone, like, what, 2 seconds, something like that. And this guy who was in the queue behind her, while she was gone, said, "Okay, why don't you do me whilst we're waiting?" So I thought, well, I can try, you know, just bear in mind that this woman has got a lot of items already, so I'll have to remove all of these individually. Now, I didn't say this to him at that moment, but I started sort of removing things, but unfortunately I'd only managed to remove 1 or 2 before the woman came back, and so I had to basically, you know, retort everything. Well, I say retort everything, not everything, just, you know, retort the couple of things that I just voided from the till, plus the new thing she'd picked up. So she was literally only gone about, 5 seconds or something. So, you know, you think that would be no big deal, you know? The thing is, I've, you know, already had a lot of the items she'd picked up already there on the till, ready to go. So I did the transaction for her, got that done, all well and good. Then this guy, you know, once it's back to him again, gets all uppity with me and saying, "Oh, why'd you take so long to take everything off?" And I'm like, I tried to explain, well, with all due respect, sir, it's because, unfortunately, my till can only void one item at a time. There isn't an option to just clear everything and redo the you know, to start a completely fresh transaction. But my God, this guy would not have it. He literally said to me, "I don't care what you say." And that, wow. And I'll be honest, you know, younger me, when you're placed into a situation like that, all you can really do is just bite your tongue and not say anything and be respectful. Because, you know, the truth is, the best course of action there is just not to say anything. It's to stay calm and just keep going. Because if you, you know, respond with something, there's always that danger that you will then get into trouble, that it'll have, you know, counterproductive repercussions for you. So yes, in that situation, you know, I just handled it as, you know, the managers instructed everyone to handle it, which is just, you know, try and stay calm and just keep doing your job. Don't let it get to you. So I did. But I'll always remember that guy because he was an absolute jerk, let's be honest. But, like I say, you know, he's pretty much, I think, the only truly rude customer who I actually really remember. I don't really remember too many else who were particularly arsey or rude. And balanced against that, I remember lots of customers who were just all-round nice people. So yeah, there's actually, on the subject of nice customers, actually, now that I think about it, there was one woman who I remember, and the thing is, I'll say straight off the bat, she wasn't kind of right in the head. And when I say that, I mean, she probably had sort of mental illness issues in the past. I think, I'm not sure I don't know if this is true, but one of my colleagues, I think, who knew her, once said something that she may have had kind of postnatal depression at some point in her life. But I'll always remember this woman because she was very, very bubbly, right? And well, she had a very comical way of speaking. She had a very deep voice, and she would bobbing along, like this. But the thing is, when you try to have a conversation with her, sure, she can talk, and let's be honest, she probably used to do most of the talking in the conversation, but she could talk for England, let's say. Plus, she had this sort of tendency to start off with one topic, but then she would go completely to a whole other topic entirely, just a topic that's completely unrelated, almost. I can remember one time she was starting off by talking about what was it she started talking about? This customer always stands out to me. I'll always remember her. But she started off on one topic, and then suddenly she changed to something completely random and unconnected. And of course, anybody kind of listening to that conversation was probably thinking, hang on, what was the connection here between these two subjects? I've forgotten what the first subject was, but the second subject that she just moved to dead suddenly and randomly, I can remember exactly what that was. She started talking about her sister, and apparently how her sister used to grow strawberries, or something like that. So yeah, it was really sudden. And of course, as a kind of general assistant slash worker in that situation, or you can't really, you just nod along with it, and be polite. And I was, and you know what, I actually kind of liked her because she was a lovely woman to talk to, even though she did do most of the talking. So in many cases, it was a very one-sided conversation. But I'll always remember her for another reason as well. Because she bought about something like 3 slices of cheesecake on one occasion and then ate them in about 2 minutes flat. I don't even know if she really ate them. She probably just inhaled them. But that's the thing. I'll always remember her. Good times. It was, like I say, it was just a menial job, but it was the people who I was working with and the people who I got to serve and interact with who really made the job quite enjoyable. And overall, it was a nice employer to be with as well. So yeah. Wow, I've really gone off on one this episode about sort of customer service and about my own past in customer service as well. So yes, that's the thing. But that just makes a nice little sort of counterbalance to probably all the disgruntled retail workers out there who you'll find on discussion forums and various places online, sitting there complaining about their jobs and how they hate it. Customer service doesn't have to be bad. It can be a nice job. But that's the thing, yeah. Okay. Yes. Well, there you are. So, yeah, anyone out there, if you've been involved in retail, customer service, anything like that, feel free to leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. A bit of audience interaction right here, everybody. Because why not, eh? Very, very fun. Oh, yes. Actually, I'll always remember, going back actually to the subject of my retail work, back in my old part-time retail days, we used to do all kinds of crazy stuff as well for events. It was very interesting and enjoyable. But, for example, I remember where I live, in my local area, every sort of November, there's this big kind of festival. Sort of local, they do sort of things about sort of in the evening and at night, sort of stalls selling all kinds of refreshments. Local businesses have an opportunity to really sort of showcase themselves. It's a nice little local event. That's all it is. Not going to specify too much because obviously it'll probably give away exactly my where I live. But obviously when I was working part time for a cafe, a supermarket cafe in those days, we used to do things for that particular festive evening as well. We'd stay open really late. We used to dress up as well in sort of weird period costumes, historical period costumes. But that was really, really fun, exciting. It was, we used to put a big marquee outside. We'd serve more wine. I remember one time we also served these little we had somebody who was basically on a kind of barbecue grill thing, grilling up these little sausages of various flavours. They were nice, and it was a really good event overall. It's beautiful, utterly lovely. Those are the days I remember really well. Really, really nice. Have a sip of tea whilst I'm at it. Well, there you are. Gosh. Feels like the last couple of episodes, my Sir You're Being Hunted series is turning into almost like a sort of podcast with gameplay visuals going on. Said this actually towards the start of the episode, didn't I? But, it's true. Well, that actually is an interesting way of perhaps keeping this series going. The thing is, obviously, I do envisage that there will eventually come a point with So You're Being Hunted where maybe I, don't have challenge ideas anymore, or maybe I've done so many challenges that I'm having to start repeating them, perhaps, again. So, this, sort of thing, doing Jesus, I just said it then. I always keep saying, don't I? That's just one of my little sort of verbal idiosyncrasies. That's what you want to call it. But yes, but as I was saying, shit me, I just said it again. As I was saying, doing kind of podcast style episodes where I just basically talk about various random bits and bobs for you all to listen to, so you can kind of play this video in the background as you're going about your daily lives, doing whatever you do, whether that's work, family life, school work, whatever age you are, whatever you're doing in your life. That would make that would keep the So You're Being Hunted series going. Because that's the thing, I have no intention of giving up this series. So You're Being Hunted was such a boon for my channel when it came out, and I still love doing it, And I can't help but say all the time, because that's just how I am. If it's not it's like. As I say, generally though, I have come down on that particular word, like. I do still say it occasionally without meaning to, but I usually then correct myself afterwards because I spot it straight away. But the other one that I keep doing is, as I say, it's me saying That's actually a good challenge for you viewers out there. As you're watching this video, go back and count how many times I say and let me know in the comments, including when I just said it then. You might as well do it as well there as well. Jeez, okay, yes. I'll tell you what, I'm going to wrap this episode up here because I think I've been doing at least 10 minutes there, which is nice. So, nice little discussion there about customer service and my old part-time retail work days during my undergraduate years with me, General Red Strategist. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all, I might be leaving some interesting comments and discussions back in the, down in the video, below the video description, even in the comment section. That's what I meant to say. It wouldn't be a General Red Strategist video if I didn't start fluffing my frigging words at some point. But yes. If you're not doing so already, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links in the video description, as always. You're going to sign up to those pages to stay up to date with my uploads as of when I publish them. It's a good way of doing so, of course, if you don't have a YouTube account, and therefore don't get subscription notifications. But other than that, thank you, everybody. Hope you'll join me for episode 214, and in the meantime, this is John Red signing off. Goodbye, all. Oh, got him. Shit. Get off the edge. Oh, no, go. Get out of here, get out. No, get a time. Ah! That's that monstrosity finished off. Get over there. See ya. Oh, shit, no. Oh, fuck. I did not mean to do that. Oh, please don't tell me I have to kill it again now. Shit. God, stop it. Yeah. Oh lord, no. Holy crap, this area's horrible. Oh my god, I'm being shot to fucking pieces! Ah! Oh my, what the fuck? Holy shit. Holy fucking shit! Whoa, Jesus Christ! Holy shit! Fucking hell! Bloody hell, that did like 1,000,000 damage! This better not be a... Wah! Shit! No! Oh my fucking god! How many... What?